In a quiet village, surrounded by endless fields and whispering trees, there once stood a grand house that had long been abandoned. Its walls cracked like dry earth, its roof broken in places where rain freely poured in, and its doors hanging loosely, as if tired of waiting for someone to care. And for years, the villagers walked past it without a second thought, believing that some things, once broken, could never be made whole again. Until one day, a young engineer named Ali arrived, a man known not just for his skills, but for his belief that nothing is ever truly beyond repair. And when he saw the house instead of ruin, he saw potential instead of damage, he saw a story waiting to be rewritten. So despite the warnings and doubts of the villagers who insisted that the house should be torn down, he decided to restore it. Beginning his journey early the next morning with nothing but basic tools, determination, and a vision, first clearing out years of dust, fallen wood, and debris, uncovering the hidden strength of the structure beneath the neglect, working slowly and patiently as if he were listening to the house itself, understanding what it needed, then moving on to repairing the foundation, reinforcing it carefully so it could once again carry the weight of a living home. Brick by brick, he rebuilt the broken walls, choosing not to replace everything but to preserve what still had life, believing that true restoration means respecting the past while rebuilding the future. Days turned into long, exhausting evenings as he climbed onto the damaged roof, replacing weak beams, sealing cracks, and ensuring that no rain would ever again find its way inside. His hands often bruised, his clothes covered in dust, and his body tired beyond measure, yet his spirit remained unshaken, driven by a quiet promise he had made to himself that he would bring this house back to life. And as weeks passed, something began to change, not just in the house, but in the hearts of the villagers, who slowly started to gather and watch, their doubt turning into curiosity, and then into silent admiration, some even offering small help, bringing water, tools, or simply words of encouragement. And step by step, the transformation became visible as fresh plaster smoothed the once cracked walls. Soft colors brought warmth and beauty back to the structure. Broken windows were replaced with clear glass that allowed sunlight to pour in like hope itself. And the doors, once creaking in protest, were repaired to open gently and welcome anyone inside. And finally, after many weeks of continuous effort, patience, and care, the day came when the house stood complete. No longer a forgotten ruin, but a place full of life strength and quiet beauty. And when the villagers stepped inside, they were overwhelmed, not just by the transformation of the house, but by what it represented. A powerful reminder that time may damage things, but it does not have the final say. And an old man with a trembling voice told Ollie that he had done more than rebuild walls. He had restored their belief in second chances, and Ollie, standing quietly and looking at the house glowing in the soft light of the evening, simply smiled and said that restoration is not just about fixing what is broken, but about believing that even the most forgotten things can rise again. And from that day on, the house was no longer just a building, but a symbol of hope, resilience, and new beginnings, reminding everyone who passed by that with patience, care, and true intention, nothing is ever completely lost.